Hey guys, Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. I have a new one, and this one is a little different than most of the airguns I do reviews on. Now, normally I'll do a review on like a PCP, and those all require outside source of air, either a hand pump, a tank, or a compressor. Or I've done reviews on springers or gassers, gas rams. Those ones don't require an outside source of air, they just require a little bit of elbow grease and ammo. Then there's also the CO2 guns that I've done reviews on, and those require, of course, CO2 cartridges. This one is not a PCP, it is not a springer or a gasser, it is not CO2 powered. This one's called a pneumatic pump. All it requires is a little elbow grease and some ammunition. Let's grip it. Really quick, I want to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns for making this video possible. Go check them out, guys. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. This is the Seneca Dragonfly MK2. This is a pneumatic pump airgun. It's available in 177 as well as 22. Today, I'm checking out the 177. All right, aesthetics. From butt to muzzle. Total length is 40 inches and total weight is 6.5 pounds. The rubber butt pad has the traditional curvy shape and grip to fit nicely into the shooter's shoulder. The hardwood stock is specifically made for right-handers with a contoured raised cheek piece on the left side. Though left-handers, I imagine they could shoot it quite comfortably as well. And then you have the checkered or textured grip. All right, moving forward, you'll find the non-adjustable, yes, I said non-adjustable, single stage, but it feels kind of like a two-stage trigger. And in front of the trigger is the push-button manual safety. Above the trigger is the breech where you can insert either the included aluminum magnetic single-shot tray or the aluminum 9-shot rotary mag. Directly behind the breech on the right side of the gun, you'll find the bolt. It's equipped with an 11mm dovetail optics rail, but it has a fiber optic front sight and a rear adjustable and completely removable rear sight. So if your optic has issues with the sight, just take it off. In front of the optics rail is the 22.75-inch rifled barrel with a 1/2x20 UNF threaded muzzle adapter. Yep, this one is moderator ready. Below the barrel is the air cylinder, and under the pump handle, the forearm of the stock, is the pumping station. This feature is what sets the Dragonfly MK2 apart from other pneumatic pump guns. It's called the Butterfly High Efficiency Pump System. It decreases the pump effort by 50%. It keeps each pump, whether the third pump or the 15th, requiring the same 15 pounds of effort from the shooter. One last thing, the power is adjustable. It depends on how many times you pump it. Okay, now on to operation. So how do you operate this pneumatic pump air rifle? First off, check your safety, make sure it is engaged. Now, this does offer the open sight option. If you want to check that out before you mount a scope, certainly do so. But then you're going to mount your optic. And on here, I have the Discovery Opt. It's the VTZ 4-16x40 side focus first focal plane. And quick thank you to Airgun Archery Fun for sending it to me. Okay, so after you've mounted your optic or chose to go with the open sights, it's time to load the 9-shot mag by rotating the clear cover counterclockwise, turn the mag upside down, load the first pellet skirt first, then rotate the clear cover to the next pellet hole, flip the mag over, and load the other 8 pellets head first. After you've loaded the mag, pull the bolt back and insert the mag into the breech from the left side of the gun. then push the bolt back forward. So my arms are kind of short, so I don't have the leverage to pump the gun like most. I found facing the gun toward me and pushing up and pulling down worked the best for me. When pushing the forearm up, be sure to extend it all the way. You should hear a burst of air releasing when it's attained its full extension. Also, it is not necessary to completely press the forearm closed after each pump. You can choose as little as 3 pumps to as many as 15. You must cock the gun before you begin to pump it for the air to be stored in the air tube. If you forget to cock the gun, all of your effort will leak straight out of the barrel. Aim the muzzle at your desired target, disengage the safety, and pull the trigger. Okay guys, so how does this one perform? First off, trigger pull and DB reading. Now for trigger pull, the first 2 tests I did at 8 pumps, and I got 2 pounds 10.5 ounces and 2 pounds 4.6 ounces. Now, out of curiosity, I also tested it. I wanted to see if the trigger got harder the more you pumped it. So I pumped it up 15 times. The results I got were 2 pounds 10.3 ounces. So pretty much the same no matter how many times you pump it. Is it backyard friendly? Yes. At the muzzle, I got 85.2 and 85.7. And then I moved the DB meter 20 yards away, and the results were 82.7 and 84.2. So definitely a backyard friendly air gun. It also has the 1/2x20 threaded adapter, so you can make it even more quiet. Moderator ready as it comes. Okay, on to accuracy, power, distance, and offhand. I started off, guys, shooting 5-shot groups with some pellets that I tested previously at 25 yards, and the top 2, I thought, there's a little bit of a secret here. It's going to come out in a minute. The top 2 I thought were the nsport Barracuda Hunters. Those are 10.34 grain. And the JSB 7.44s. So I went ahead and I wanted to put them up against each other and see which ones shot the best so I can use those particular pellets for the rest of my testing.
Oh, it went really low.
$722.
That's a little higher.
Well, the Barracuda Hunters were absolutely beautiful. Just beautiful.
711.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm going to shoot one more because that first one may have been, I don't know, just a little off maybe. Pellet, maybe the gun's first shots today. We had to have a little cup of coffee first, I don't know. So I'm going to add one more to that because the other 4, 6, 7, 8 were right there. I'm pretty sure that was 8 pumps. The other 4 were right there on top of each other. So I'm going to see if that one, if this one is, and if so, I'm going to discount that first shot.
715.
Yeah. Wow, that was really good.
The 7.33s, they did not perform near as well as they did yesterday. Just kidding. I got the cans mixed up. I was actually shooting the 8.44s previously, so they shot better than the 7.33s. I switched them out and found out those were the top 2. Now it's time to pin those ones against each other and see which one shot the best. Before going on to any more shooting, I want to let you know there is a break-in period with this gun. To get it fully extended, the pump handle fully extended, the first several pumps are a little bit tough, and it does require some lubing. So with silicone oil or certain motor oils, look in the manual, guys. You need to keep the pump system well lubricated to keep it operating well, but it does require a bit of a break-in period. The manual says to reapply lubricant after every 500 shots, so make sure you're counting, guys.
All right, these are the JSB Diabolo Exact 8.44 grain. Let's see if these ones shoot better than the 7s. Maybe I got them mixed up. I don't know. We'll find out.
$763.
I must have gotten them mixed up yesterday. A
775.
little off.
778.
That was actually pretty good. Okay, but I still, the hunters, they did excellent. So those are going to be the favorites, unless for some reason the hobbies do better. Not expecting them to, but I am going to test them for velocity, and I might as well check them for accuracy while I'm at it. Not horrible, but definitely not great. Okay guys, so now what I'm gonna do is I am going to take the favorites, which are the Barracuda Hunters, and this is what I'm gonna use for the rest of my testing today. You can do as little as 3 pumps or as much as 15. So I'm gonna do 3 pump increments. I'm gonna test the velocity, 5-shot groups. I'm going to test it for velocity and accuracy at 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 pumps and see what the difference is. I've got a target with 5 different bulls on it up there. All right, 3 pumps first. 1, 2, 3. Guess what? I didn't cock it, so those meant nothing at all. 1, 2, 3. Really low. Really, really low, which is to be expected.
$495.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do 6 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6. All right, here's 9. Let me make sure I cock it, huh? 9 pumps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh.
700. 727.
I expected it to get better with more pumps.
9 pumps for some reason were horrible, absolutely horrible. So just go ahead and pass on that. Maybe you just need a particular pellet to shoot well at that velocity. I'm not about to go do that testing right now. You guys can have at it.
All right, 12 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last one on this, and then it's 15 pumps. All right, 15 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whew. it's not getting harder as far as like the pump effort, but pumping it so many times, my arm is definitely feeling it. I'm going to go with 12 pumps and move it back, testing it at, we're at 25 yards now. I'm going to test it at 35 yards and then 50. Using the same pellets. If they don't do well, we'll try the JSB exacts. Oh, I should probably adjust that right there. That was low. That's okay. I went up a little high. Not terrible. I'm going to try the JSBs at this distance. See how they shoot at 12 pumps. Now these ones are considerably lighter. These are 844s where the other ones were 10.3s. Now the reason that I'm going to consider a different pellet at 35 yards is because I watched Tyler Patner's video on this one, and he said the Crossmans didn't shoot well at 25 yards, but they shot beautifully at 45. So there may be some playing around with some pellets that y'all will need to do when you get the gun to see if there are certain pellets that shoot better at certain distances, which is the case in a lot of different air guns. Oh, way left. Way left. Well, that was better. The other one might just be a flyer. No, that one was pretty left too. So I'll shoot one more and see what happens, but it looks to me like those are a no-go at 35. Yeah. And those are a no-go at 35. So the other ones weren't terrible. Let's try them back at 50 and see what happens. Just because we can. Wow, the target is so far away. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I should probably adjust my parallax. Okay, and I'm imagining it's going to shoot low, so I am going to change. I'm going to go 2 mil dots down. This actually doesn't have dots, it's got lines. Actually 1.5. Okay, so I'll go 2 full mil dots down. And here we go. Way left. Well, that's not terrible. We really had one go off to the left, but I mean, that could be the pellet, could be me, probably about 1 inch for a pump air rifle. That's pretty good, guys. That is pretty darn good. And just to settle it, I will go ahead and shoot one more at that same target to see if I can get all 5 in that same area. Of course, way low and way right, completely off from the other ones, but those 4 were beautiful. Just because I'm curious, you know guys, when I get into this testing and stuff, I have little questions pop up in my mind too about what this gun can do. And I'm wondering if it shoots better at, I hate to say this and I hate to do it because I really don't know how many times I've pumped this gun already. My arm is getting a little bit tired, but I'm wondering if it will shoot even more accurate with 15 pumps at 50 yards. So I'm going to move to the target on the right and check that out. Here we go. Whoa. That's high, right? Not terrible. I do believe that they did shoot better with 15 pumps at 50 yards.
I am impressed. I want to take a minute, not a whole minute, just a few seconds, unless I keep talking like this, to thank Pyramid Air for sending this to me to be part of the GRiP program. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the GTA. If you guys need anything Airgun and more, go check them out, www.pyramidair.com. On to velocity. So guys, with this section, I made a bit of a couple mistakes. My first one was I did test the RWS Hobbies, but I tested it like I was for accuracy at 8 pumps. I did not test it at 15 pumps, so I have no idea what the max velocity is with the RWS Hobbies. I am so sorry to tell you that I cannot get the testing in before this video has to go out because we are in the midst of a hurricane, and I'm not shooting in that kind of weather. I don't think my chronograph would pick up the right projectile. I'll have to go with the testing that I have. The max velocity for the RWS Hobbies with the Dragonfly MK2 pumped 8 times is 801 feet per second. Not terribly bad at all. And the only other ones that I tested with 15 pumps were, of course, the nsport Hunter, Barracuda Hunters. Those are 10.34 grain, just a little heavier than 7. And the max velocity I got with those were 796 feet per second. So I can only imagine with a 7 grain pellet at 15 pumps, I'd probably get pretty close to 950 feet per second, maybe close to 900. Now with the H&N Sports, I was getting 14.4 foot-pounds of energy, max foot-pounds of energy. With the RWS Hobby at 8 pumps, I was getting 9.9. So yeah, a little pester, tiny small game hunter. Let's move on to one of the best parts, offhand. This should make a really, really good offhand gun. It's small, it's light, it's comfortable, it's very simple. Simple is good. Let's see how I do.
Ah. Oh, that was so much better. I wonder how many shots I got left. I shall look and see. One left. Oh. Well, it really may make a great offhander for someone who hasn't shot it as many times as I have today. It's light, it's not real heavy at all, it's comfortable, it's kind of small.
An offhander? Oh yeah, definitely a great offhander. On to cons and pros. Cons. Are there any? Surely there's none. Surely there's none. No, there's actually a couple really small ones. The one is, yes, it can be pellet picky. Out of the pellets that I tested at 25 yards, there were only the 2 that it found suitable. So it can be pellet picky. Tyler Patner, he tested the 22 caliber and it liked the Crossman dome top pellets. I don't have those in 177. I don't even know if I have them in 22. I have hollow points and those ones didn't do that great. So I've got these 2. That's one small con. It can be pellet picky. The next con is, and this may not really be a con, but just keep an eye, these screws right here, keep an eye on them because during my shooting I did have one loosen and fall out. So I was able to find them and replace them, and it's really super easy to put them back in and tighten them up. But just keep an eye out on those screws. Maybe before you go shoot, check them, make sure they're tight, or you can put some Loctite on them. Those are the only two cons, and I think those are rather small. On to pros. And there are a lot of pros. I really think this gun has a lot going for it in a lot of different ways. There's people that don't want to mess with compressors. They don't want to mess with air tanks. They don't want to mess with CO2. They just want to grab the gun and go shoot. Well, this is the perfect gun for that. Grab it and go shoot. Starting with the looks, guys. The looks, it's very simple. Like I said, it has that classic rifle look with the hardwood stock, the stempling on the grip. The trigger it's a 2-pound trigger, which is not bad at all. Safety's easy to access. It's bolt action. It is multi-shot, so you don't have to fumble around with a single pellet at a time. You load the mag, pop it in the breech, and you've got 9 shots at hand. Though if you prefer single shot, it does come with a single shot tray. It has an optics rail as well as the open sight option, which a lot of people like open sights. You can also moderate it to make it quieter than it already is. It already is very, very quiet. The pump system, I think, is very cool. It is hidden underneath the forearm of the gun, so none of the possibly ugly mechanics are shown. It just looks like a classic rifle. With the proper pellet, proper distance, proper pumps, it is an accurate gun. Let me not leave out the biggest difference in this pneumatic pump is that every pump takes the same amount of effort. It doesn't get harder with every pump. By the time you get to 15, you can barely close it. No, it doesn't take that much effort at all. That places it above all other pneumatic pump air guns that I've ever shot. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for making these videos possible. If you guys have not checked them out, you really, really should. If you're an air gunner, you like air guns, you like shooting, go check out www.gatewaytoairguns.org. There is something for every air gunner alive. I promise. I guess that's it, guys. I'm Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all don't just have a good day, have an awesome one. See ya. 10 pounds. 10 pounds. Wow, that would be a really, really heavy trigger. and it has the threaded? Ridiculous.